Hey guys, welcome back to Taste of Victory. We got some more Booster Set 5 gameplay for you guys. We're starting the game off by rolling to see who goes first. My opponent seems to have won. We got the giant die. Make sure you can't cheat with a giant die. So my opponent rolled a 6 just off screen, so he will be going first. I'll go ahead and draw our opening hand, and it looks like we have an okay-ish hand because we at least have an evolution path here that we could cycle with. We have great inheritables because if we see Errata, this thing will play it for us on Digivolution, and then also has a great inheritable to give all our tokens rush, which is a big strategy of black to play out those tokens. So we're going to draw, we're going to see an even better rookie potentially. But the draw power of Diaboromon is pretty insane, so it's actually kind of a debate here, like which one do I go into? These are both such amazing rookies. I think this is more of an aggression card, so we do see this Infamon that reduces Digivolution cost by 1, so all our Diaboros are 2 cost. We don't see Erratas yet, so I'm just going to play it safe and go into this guy, so if we do get aggressive, yeah, end up seeing another one, so it doesn't really matter. I love this inheritable on it for our tokens if we ever do see Errata. It has more value than Shademon, so I'm going to go into that one for 2, put our opponent at 1, and then draw. So this is a nice stack for when we do see our Diaboromon end, because hopefully we get to play some tokens. Our opponent digivolves. Our opponent is playing green, and they are playing, I believe, a Hercmon upgraded for booster set 5. They play Mega Kabuteria, which is really scary because that inheritable effect is so strong. So here we do have the Wadumon Zeus, which is a nice cheap cost vanilla ultimate, but here he's at 2, so going to this 3 cost will put him at 1, choking our opponent, and I get to draw. Unfortunately, we still are not seeing Diaboro or an Errata, which is really bad since you want the Errata to be able to get extra tokens on field. This Infamon is great because it does let us reduce the evolution cost of Diaboro by 1. They play this, so that's kind of unfortunate because now we don't gain memory, but this reduces cost, not gains. So it's not a big deal. We also don't have the Kurosarimon that gains you memory for each Digimon you play with the same name. So it's not the end of the world for us. Unfortunately, this isn't the other Kiramon that searches, so we're having a really bad opening hand here. I guess all we could really do, though, because we don't want to lose that good stack, is just play out this rookie for 3 and put him at 1, and hope we top deck something good. Because if we could top deck a Diaboromon, we'd be in an okay spot. Errata would probably be just as good, because then we start building up towards it. Unfortunately, we couldn't play the Errata for free off of that effect, because we did not see the Errata, and because no effects go off in the breeding area anyways. So our opponent plays Tento, reveals a green card. I'll draw for turn. Now we see the Kiramon I was hoping to, which is on play reveal the top head cards that you could add an unidentified or Errata to your hand. So I think just so we don't get blown out right away, let's go ahead and Digivolve into this one. 5 cost blocker. So Shademon can't attack, but it could also be played from security, so that could, you know, keep lethal off board if you get lucky. We're going to play this Kiramon, put our opponent at 2, because we need to start seeing our pieces. So reveal top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we not? Wow, we do not see a single Diaboro still. So I'm just going to see what we could grab here that would be worth it, because we pretty much have everything we would ever want here. I think maybe this Infer, I think we're grabbing this Infer, not the one that warps into it from Kiramon, just because that ability to reduce the power of reduce the Digivolution cost of Diaboromon is really clutch, as showed in some of my testing that I was doing just before this video. But of course, now that I hit record, we started bricking, unfortunately. That's the YouTube curse. Okay, so my opponent digivolves for 3, puts us at 1, draw. So we see the Armageddonmon, which lets it play for 3 if you have a token you can destroy on field. Unfortunately, we see it before even our Diaboromon, so that's really annoying. Let's see what we could do here. No Erratas to play off of this guy over him, so I think with Terrier on field, this doesn't really matter too much. So with 2 rookies, he might try swinging as chump blockers. Let's just go ahead and put him at 1. Have another blocker to answer. Did I just draw another Shademon? This is the worst brick. Like, this is going so poorly. These Digimon can't attack either because that's just the effect it has on it. So he has Tentomon, Terriermon, and he has Mega Kabuteriamon with Lilamon in the back. So he could suspend and beat over our guys anytime he wants. He digivolves into Hercules Kabuteriamon. So now we're in trouble because now he does have... Wow, I can't believe I saw all my Shademon. This just rests all our blockers now and swings over them, so it doesn't even care about our blockers anymore. And then we don't have the good Tsunemon, which gives you plus 200 if you have a Digimon with the same name on field. So that's really unfortunate. We are at 3 memory though, so let's see what we can make use of this. Maybe start digivolving up. But if we start digivolving up, he just rests and deletes it. So maybe we'll just start swinging. And 6k is a pretty safe swing. Let's digivolve over this one, because this one has a good inheritable we don't want to waste. So let's digivolve for 2. We'll go to 1, draw. Hopefully we can see a Diaboromon. Wow, I'm seeing every piece except what I need. All right, let's swing a security. 6k, so they trade because of no DP boost, because this thing is 6k DP. Hopefully game 2 will go better than this, and hey, maybe we could top deck something and it'll end up saving us at the end of the day. Unfortunately, no other Searcher Kiromon either, so let's go ahead and play this for 2. Or for 3, they'll go to 2. They're having a pretty good board right now. They got their boss monster out. This game seems to be pretty locked down, honestly, unless we get something crazy like Ultimate Flare off the first check. That would be the only really momentum swinging thing. Because Ultimate Flare, what it does is de-digivolves you by 3 and then destroys everything with a play cost of 3 or less on the field. So that would pretty much wipe his board. Did he burst both of them? Oh, I guess he meant this one instead of Kiromon. And then, okay, he's going to pierce over our blocker. That gets pierce, so Ultimate Flare, please. Nope, that would be the biggest option right now. If we could top deck it even though it's an 8 to play option cost, it could be worth. Mega Kabu, oh, so that was discarded, so now it's a security check. And 15k, so we discarded the wrong one, so that deletes him. 16k, off of plus 200, and then Yokomon, yep, that checks out. Gotcha. So amazingly, that is the power of Hercules Kabuterimon. It just lives over anything. Like, I think we really needed to see, unfortunately, the Ultimate Flare there in security to help us live. Now it just goes for a 1 cost. Alright, he digivolves for 2 into Woodmon, so he's got a good blocker out now, and he hard casts the Lalamon, putting us at 2. So I will draw for turn. We do finally see the Diaboro, and because this is indeed a -1, we do get to see it. Unfortunately, this is only +1 because there's no other tokens on the field. So, I mean, I'm just going to move it out because this doesn't really do anything for us at this point. Once we're trying to do when attacking, if Digimon is identified as type, trigger draw +1. And it looks like we have no inheritables, unfortunately. So we're just going to, we can Digivolve because of the reduced cost for 2 and then draw off that, but we're just going to get blocked by it and then get, oh gosh, my game was hanging. And then we do see the Ultimate Flare, but he could just Digivolve it to another one if we give him an 8 entire memory. It's a really big problem here. But we do get to draw 1, and I do get to unsuspend, so we have to spend the Digimon. So let's go ahead and try and swing. No, at security. +2. So he went ahead and not blocked it, which is really interesting. Because if he had blocked it, then it would have draw off of unidentified. If he had blocked it, this would have died, and then I would have gotten a board clear. Instead, this will live, and with 8 memory, he's just going to swing over it with Lalamon. But I don't think we have any other way to stay in the game, because at the very least, that would be leaving us at like something memory. So I'm going to play Ultimate Flare. They go to 8, board clear. Almost, because this doesn't de-Digivolve, unfortunately. But they have 8 memory, and with green, that's more than enough to just go into a Nidhogg and win the game right there. We're trying to stay in it. That promo Diaboro is really cool for giving you that extra security aggression. I was very surprised they didn't block it, but I guess I didn't really have a need to. Oh yeah, unsuspend because of reboot. Thank you to my opponent for keeping track of that. With all the commentary, it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. He plays Mimi for 4, which is interesting. I wonder if he has to dig because he doesn't have an ultimate. That's what he's hoping to do. So he's digging, or rather a Mega, since he does have an ultimate on the board. Maybe specifically digging for Nidhogg before he goes into a whatever other Mega he has in his hand, like Raffalatiamon. He does have the Nidhogg, but he's going to head and pass turn. I guess just to bottom deck this Digimon. But he did have the Weedmon in security, which is a really cool, powerful tool. And then he gets plus 200 from that. So this 15k, yep, that's fine. It tells me that he probably has the Chaosmon in hand. He's going to swing over it next time. Going to take the swing into security and then restand with that. So he's at 15k, so only one thing in security is going to save me here. 11k, unfortunately, so close. And he'll Chaosmon away our stack. So that was almost an admirable comeback. Admirable comeback, but unfortunately he does see what he needed, and we gave him 8 memory, so we really shouldn't be too surprised. 15k, the boost carry over, so it lives anyways. 16k, so 1 check too early. That would have been huge because then he would have been able to Chaosmon from 0 security. So just barely done dirty by our own security. It was a very close game though. So let's draw, see if we can do anything with 6 whole memory. Because this does have rush, if we could maybe get some tokens out on the field somehow. Get some blockers. Play an errata, guarantee some memory next turn, go to 0. We could play a rookie and then block that, but nope, that is game after that. We were really hoping to see that it doesn't have the Chaos one, but there's no coming back from that. I don't know what last security would have been, but I doubt it would have saved us. GG. Wow, an errata. So that would have been nice early in the game, but at this point in the game, it would have been too late. Let's go ahead and go into game 2. So that was very fun. Even with the brick, it was really unfortunate that it had to happen so early into the game. Because if Diaboro opens well and then kind of starts bricking later on, since it doesn't have much of a grind game, it feels a little bit less worse if you brick into the late game. Because at the very end, you have a bunch of pressure on your opponent, and they're playing a little bit more sloppily. But of course, you cannot rely on that, and you just got to hope you keep drawing well. Because they do have a lot of ways to draw. You do have that Kiramon, you do have that other Kiramon. You got the Inheritables, what I was thinking off the top of my head, and then you have the one that searches off of, I'll go first. The search is off of play. So you have a couple of ways to unbrick your hand. Unfortunately, we just weren't seeing what we needed to actually unbrick. So I'll go ahead and go first. Since I lost, I get to choose. I'll draw, or not draw, but open my opening turn hand. And then I'll hatch. Did you all of this? Hopefully we can draw into a champion. We can't, but we draw into a Rada, which is basically the next best thing. Because eventually, once we get unidentified Digimon into our trash, this will set up our memory gain. And then once we get into Diaboro, we get an extra token off it. Rada is a really great card for this strategy, and I just love the art on it too. It's so cool. Cyber Sleuth was a really fun game to play. He goes into Mega Kabuterimon off of his stack, putting us at 1. So we'll go ahead and draw for turn. Unfortunately, still no champion, so we can't Digivolve up. Almost tempted to just hard play the Warumon Zaya, but unfortunately he'll just burst everything when he gets into his Hercules Kabuterimon next turn anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and search, try to unbrick our hand instead. Reveal top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this grabs an unidentified type and an errata tamer. So that's great. We get to add 1 to our hand, and we get to choose from one of these Digimon. I need a champion, so that is what I'll grab. Which is unfortunate because we already do have the good promo Diaboro in our hand, but it feels bad having to bottom deck. I'll put this at the top since I do believe I can put him back in any order. So just to not have him at the absolute bottom. I don't know, maybe this game will go long enough that I see it again. So yep, he does absolutely have the Herc, so I'll draw for turn. Not surprising. I'll swing into security, and if this dies, that's a great thing because then it sets up our trash for our Rada's Inheritable next turn. So he's going to have to start playing around that, and it does. So that goes to trash, guarantee us an extra memory next game, or rather next turn. And then we do have this, Digivolve for 2, go to 1, go to 0 because I was at 2, draw. He does not have a memory tamer, which makes me really upset that we have to give him the full 3 memory. I would have really loved to choke here. But I think the better play is to put him at 3 rather than 2 with this because he already has his Herc out. At worst, he gets to search the Tentomon. But I'm tempted to play a Rada to get full value off of the tokens with this thing. But especially as this would give us pretty much free Digivolution because then we play off of that. Give us 3 memory, but they don't have Rush because this only gains memory. So I kind of want to be greedy since he is single stack. If something in security messes him up, so I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to play the errata, put him at 3 because then we get a lot of memory next turn to possibly go into Inframon without passing turn and then maybe Diaboromon, depending which one we go into. So he does play the Tentomon Search. He's not bringing out his Herc. No one ever wants to move first in this meta because really powerful just staying in there and hiding. He did get a green Digimon. I didn't see which one off the top of my head. So he does give us the full 3 memory, and I go to 5 because of my trash. So that puts me at 5 off of the 2 Saradas, getting 1 memory each. Sarada giving me 1 memory for that. Unidentified and a trash. I will draw for turn. So now we actually can go into Diaboro without passing turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Digivolve for 3. We go to, oh wait, we can't because of Terriermon. I forgot Terriermon. Go to, actually I'm not going to do that then because, let me just not do that because he has Terriermon, never mind. That is really unfortunate. So instead what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to Ultimate Flare. Put him at 3, bonk bonk, they go to trash. So that's why you got to slow down. Like, unfortunately I'm commentating this live, so I, play really kind of fast, and then I'm kind of distracted by saying all that stuff too. So that's unfortunate on my end. But it looks like it's kind of the same situation. And I can tell that he kind of just wants to bait it out so he can swing over it. But with the 2 erratas, and then with the... I'm assuming he thinks I have this one in hand. So with this, that'd be 1, 2, plus himself is +1, +2, +3. So that's 4 checks. And unfortunately, I don't have Rush. But if I could draw into... what do you call it, into Armageddon at any point, we could be in an okay position, because then at least he would have to spend sources to burst me and not Chaos Bond me. So I think now that I did get that off the field, I'm going to move now. Digivolve for 3, go to 2, draw. And then that does reduce Digivolution cost by 2, so I'm going to Digivolve into this one for 2 because of the reduced cost off of Inframon, draw, suspend, gain 2 tokens off of Arata. And then I will gain 2 memory because of Kuromon, or Kurosariumon. And that is that. So now I'm at 13k, 1, 2, 3, 4 checks. 4 checks because of +3. Let's hope we don't see like a Whistling or something. Needle Spray doesn't really matter since they weren't able to attack this turn anyways. I'm at 13 because of the Inheritables. Unfortunately, we don't have, we did not end up drawing into a, what do you call it? Into a Armageddon, which would have been cool to at least force him to like play around that. He has a 0 security and we're at 5, so we got a pretty good lead right now. Can't Digivolve into anything right now, which would be good to at least not have to worry, because then it would have to double burst, and then it would have to at least not worry about the extra security off it, because right now he has 4 checks. And with nothing potentially surviving next turn, that could be scary. Because he could just Digivolve into a blocker. But I get a pretty decent amount of memory. Could Digivolve up. So I think the best course of action here is to just choke him at 1 and hope he doesn't have too good of a way to cheat out of it. Because yes, green has a lot of way to cheat memory. It's their whole gimmick. But if we can maybe not see it, you know, if he doesn't see that Blossomon, if he doesn't see those 1-cost Digivolutions, he's going to bring it out, because now he doesn't even have to worry about resting the Diaboromon. He can just swing over it now. But it is really cool to see how he could turn it around so fast and put a lot of pressure on your opponent with cards like Promo Diaboromon, which is why it's so expensive, unfortunately. I wish it was a more affordable deck, because I certainly will not be able to play this. I do get the reboot, so now at least, I keep forgetting to tell you about reboot. True. Thank you. But yeah, so now at least he has to spend the Digiburst if he wants to. He needs to get a blocker out now, so either he has it or he doesn't for game here. We'll see what happens. I mean, with black and their with green and their cycling and their 1-cost Digivolutions, I don't think it's too hard for him at all to have it in hand. He could probably, I mean, green could even go into Nidhogg off of 1 memory, which is the absolutely insane busted thing about this deck. He gives, looks like he's giving the Tento 4K so off of Yokomon. Yokomon, when Digibursted away, gives plus 2,000 to one of your Digimon. He's giving it to Tentomon, so he'll be able to beat over a token, it looks like. Yeah, trade. And I'm guessing he's going to burst again. Okay. So now he gets Kabu Inheritables, and he's going to burst again, swing over it. Discard off of Mega Kabu, and then check 11k. He lives both because it's naturally a 12k Digimon. Hercules Kabuterimon is so cool for that reason. Really powerful boss monster for green, even at 4-cost Digivolution. And then Whistling saves him for the turn. That puts him at 3 because he has a Digiburster, making it go to 4. And then Arata puts me to 5. But can we do anything with that 5 memory? Looks like we might be able to. Let's draw Hatch, because he did not see the blocker they would have needed to guarantee living a turn. Because unfortunately for him, with 5 memory, I should be able to get a token on the field, because this... But it won't give us lethal is the problem. Because the tokens would have rush if I could get tokens out, but it's only when you Digivolve into Diaboro. Let's see here. Digivolve for 2, go to 3. Digivolve for 2, go to 0. We could try overwhelming him here. And then hope we see Ultimate Flare or another Shademon in security. So I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve here for 2. No, not that one. Digivolve into this one. For 3, draw. Digivolve into... my game's hanging for a second there for some reason. Digivolve for 2, go to 1. And he keeps doing that to remind us that it's stunned, but like I know it's stunned, it doesn't matter. And then we'll go into... So we don't... we do get to draw off of Kuromon, but we won't get to do any of the rush shenanigans with that. So maybe we can draw into an out. So let's go ahead and Digivolve into Diaboromon. That will only put him at 2. Draw for that. Play a token off of Diaboromon's effect. Suspend. Play a token off of Arata. And then draw 2 off of... Actually, draw 3 off of Kira. Off of Kuromon, yeah. And now it is their turn. So now they either need to go into Nidhogg and clear a board or something else, because they only have 3 checks here, Needle Spray. So it looks like he probably just, well, now he's at 0, so that really makes me wonder if he could get it to, well, there's no way for him to Nidhogg if he's not running Promo Pal. But now he does, oh, the Kabu source, the Kabu. So that's fine, but we need Ultimate Flare? No. So this check will make or break the game. Oh, and that is game. Unfortunate for us. Oh, that was such a good game. I completely miscalculated the Mega Kabu inheritable. Completely forgot how strong that combo with Mega Kabuterimon and Hercules Kabuterimon is. Unfortunately, we weren't able to clutch it out. Really close games. We were able to bring it back, but that's the problem with Diaboromon. It's scary looking, and it does a lot of, you know, big things to the field. Like you get all these tokens out. If you get all the draws off of Kiramon, you get all the memory off of Kurisarimon. But at the end of the turn, at the end of the day, it's not doing anything to your opponent's board. So you know, if they're in a good spot, if they're able to come back or something, you are in for a lot of trouble because they, you know, you're not interrupting them. They're able to go through their game plan just perfectly fine and be perfectly safe. So it's really unfortunate for that. Diaboromon just isn't proactive enough, in my opinion, to be like a top contender deck. It's really solid B tier, but that's about it. I wish Promo Diaboro was cheaper so you guys could have more fun time with it. Like, I would play this as a pet deck because it's really fun. It's just too expensive. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the gameplay. It was really close to neck and neck, back and forth. And as you saw, if I had just went for the choke instead of going for the going wide and hoping to put enough pressure to guarantee game next turn, we would have been fine. But that's the name of the game. Hindsight is 2020. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.